No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
So I just saw Fantastic Four First Steps. It was a good movie. It was good. It was a good movie. Before I get into my thoughts of what I thought of the movie, I do want to, address the elephant in the room. This is not the only biggest movie that came out this month, and I feel like this is exactly why people are going to click on this video, so I'm just going to say it right out of the gate, yeah, this is my favorite movie of the month. So out of Superman and Jurassic World Rebirth, this is my favorite. Enough said. Elephant cleared. So now, what I thought of the movie. The best way I can describe this movie in a short sense is that it's Jack Kirby. It's Stan Lee. It's every genius artist that went into making Marvel Comics' first family. Like, this is the most comic book movie I think I've seen come out of the MCU. It also it's fun. Like, we haven't gotten a fun Marvel movie in so long, and this is gonna be one of those movies where it's like, it's not gonna be universally adored, but it's gonna make a lot of people happy. It made me happy. This movie's directed by Matt Shakman, who is the genius behind some of my favorite episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's also directed, he was the full-time director for WandaVision. I kinda understood why they got him for this movie, because, like, it feels like a live-action Jetsons meets The Incredibles. Just the sets and atmosphere alone immerses you. Like, you don't even have to listen to the dialogue, all you have to do is look at the movie, and you immediately get hooked into this world. It is incredible to look at, it is visually dazzling, and there's just, like, little Easter eggs everywhere. So yeah, the direction was incredible. I mean, oh my god, some of there's only a few action scenes in the movie, which I could say is kind of a negative, but they're directed very well. This movie definitely puts the money where it needs to, and that is one in Galactus, who I'll get to later. But the very few action scenes are gorgeous to look at. I saw this in Dolby, so I don't really know, because I've heard this is visually interesting, even in 3D, which 3D is not really a big contender in movie-going experiences anymore, but I've heard good things about it being in 3D, and that's something I haven't heard of in a while, probably since, like, How to Train Your Dragon or something like that. But I've heard this is also really good to see in IMAX. I saw it in Dolby, because I'm budget-friendly. Even that experience was great. It made Galactus 10 times more threatening. The cast, they have incredible chemistry. This cast got it right immediately. You didn't even have to hear them talking to each other to understand. Yeah, they're a family. Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm the Thing was like the one casting choice I was like, is that gonna work? Cause Ben Grimm he's got a scruffy voice, he's a thick New Yorker, he doesn't take shit from anybody, but he's also a gentle giant. The gentle giant thing is on full display here, especially with his love for children. There's a couple of instances in the film where it's like I wanted to see more explored with that, because there's a shot in the movie, it's in the trailer, so it's kind of already spoiled, but he's just walking down the streets of Brooklyn and he comes by a TV screen and he sees himself right before he goes up into space and gets hit by the cosmic storm. And then the TV just turns off and it reveals his face, and it's very powerful. But the movie doesn't really go back to that. I kind of wanted it to go more into that depth of his character. Other than that, he surprised me as Ben Grimm. I definitely liked his character. Pedro as Reed also surprised me. I was incredibly surprised how well he did this character, because Pedro, he's known for, like, his intensely charismatic roles. That's, like, his archetype, is that he knows how to play a charismatic person. But Reed is not charismatic at all. He's a dork, he's constantly filled with anxiety, he's always thinking millions of steps forward. Yeah, he doesn't look like the character, but he embodied the character. That's all you need. It's all you need. He was the leader. I don't know what that rage bait was about, but it was 100% rage bait. So yeah, I love Pedro. No complaints there. Vanessa Kirby is Sue. Another standout. She has a lot of stuff to do in this movie involving, well, you'll see. I don't want to spoil a lot, but she is pregnant in the movie, so you can kind of guess what that could lead to. They put her in a bunch of scenarios in this movie where it's like, holy shit! This woman been through enough. She also has a monologue in this movie which had me tearing up a little bit. I actually cried a couple of times in this movie. Not all tears of joy, but a lot of them were. But yeah, like I said, Vanessa Kirby, fucking awesome in the movie. She is my favorite part of the movie, 100%. She does a lot in this movie that is, it's powerful. They put her through a lot of stuff in this movie that really, not Vanessa Kirby the actress, but Sue. And Vanessa Kirby acts her ass off in that role. And then that leaves Johnny. This is the one that I knew was gonna get knocked out of the park. Joseph Quinn, being cast as Johnny Storm is the best casting I've seen since like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Like, Joseph Quinn to me is this character, and my expectations were met with him. They weren't exceeded, and they weren't lowered. I got exactly what I needed from Johnny. He does have he's not just a comedic relief, which is the only thing I was worried about. I was worried that they were gonna make him just the butt of the joke for everything, and just that all-around hothead. But he actually had some emotional stuff to do, some integral stuff, and he grew up throughout the movie. The way we start off, we see him, he's, Johnny. He's a hothead, literally. And then throughout the movie, he gets more and more, and he mature. He gets a little more and more mature throughout the movie, and by the ending, he's about to do something. It's like, at the beginning of the movie, I could not see this character doing that. But in the end, yeah, character arc met. It wasn't like the most integral thing to the movie, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. It's a character decision that I wouldn't have seen from the character going into the film, but at the end of the film, yeah, I was like, I could see that character doing that, and it's because I watched his progression. Julie Gardner, I believe that's her name, Julia Garner? Let me see, who played the Silver Surfer in this? Julia Gardner, yeah. Julia Gardner as Shala Ball, the Silver Surfer. Fantastic. Fantastic. She gets enough to do in the film, enough to make me satisfied with how I saw her character. Was definitely comic accurate to, Shala Ball in the comics. This felt very genuine. They weren't just putting her in there just because they wanted to do a gender swap. I was worried that they were just gonna do a female Silver Surfer, but no, this one has depth, and it's a little bit different from what Norrin Rad usually gets. Silver Surfer was cool, and like I said, we got just enough to make me happy. There's a very, very incredible chase sequence in the film, involving her. It happens like right in the midway point, and it's like, she ain't giving up. She is not giving up. Oh man, if you know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. I'm gonna talk about it in a different video, probably with spoilers, because I want to talk a lot about the spoilers in this movie. And then now, Galactus. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Bad to the fucking ass. I was not expecting to love Galactus as much as I did. Now, like I said, I saw this in Dolby. So, if you really want to get a good Galactus experience, see this in Dolby. The movie's probably not going to be as visually dazzling as it is like in IMAX, but seeing this in Dolby with Galactus was fucking phenomenal. Every time he just moves a singular muscle, every time he opens his mouth, it shakes the theater, and it's intimidating as hell. And this is a very, very difficult character to transfer into live action. Because if you look at a comic image of him, yeah, I could see it being a little intimidating, especially if you're on the ground, but watching from a film perspective or even reading a comic, he looks a little goofy. He looks a little corny. He looks a little hokey. They do just enough of his comic justice, like with his outfit and like his demeanor, but also add some realism to it. In the comics, he has those size-altering powers, but in this movie he doesn't, and the trailers made that very clear. I was very nervous when I saw that in the trailer, but it made up for it in the film. He fucking rules, and he only gets maybe like 5 to 10 lines. He like gets one monologue in like the middle half of the movie. At the end of the movie, he just gets like a couple of lines during the big climax. He was incredibly intimidating, and to the point where I had some tears of joy when he showed up. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, we got fucking Galactus in a movie. Finally. I was visually tearing up. That's how good he was. He was nailed perfectly in this movie. I can see other people being like, I wanted more Galactus. I wanted to see more Galactus. But I got enough of it, and the amount of screen time that he got, I was happy with. So when it comes to the cast, all of them nailed. The cinematography in this movie is fucking gorgeous. Let me tell you. This movie is gorgeous to look at. Something that I was very nervous about is that I believe this is Matt Shakman's first film. This movie, I was very nervous going into it that he wouldn't know how to properly direct like a big budget movie action scene. But holy Mary Mother of fucking Joseph. This movie is incredible to look at. There's so many visually dazzling elements to this movie involving the cinematography. The first chase scene with the Silver Surfer, oh my god. Like, you know the scene I'm talking about. It is, the setting that it takes place in, and just the amount of adrenaline that's put into it, and just the relentlessness of the Silver Surfer is so, it's incredible. I was like jumping on, I was like jaw dropped. Like, that's how good it was. And I really wanted the movie to have more of that, but it just didn't. There's only like 2 big action scenes in this movie. And then when it comes to the second action scene, like the big climax, it felt like what we've been waiting for in a Fantastic Four action scene. This is the first Fantastic Four movie that didn't have Doctor Doom as the main villain. They never did him right either, so it kind of like took away from like the big climax action scene, them all working together and defeating him. Yeah, the action scene isn't like the best thing I've seen in the world, but it's what I've wanted out of a Fantastic Four movie's finale. This action scene is the visual storytelling of what makes the Fantastic Four one of Marvel's greatest comic runs and comic characters. It's just a family working together. Everything combined with the dialogue, the character choices, and, you know, the usage of their powers and them working together to defeat Galactus, quote unquote. I'm not going to say if they do or not, but it had me tearing up a little bit because this is the 5th attempt at a Fantastic Four film, and all of them sucked. To see them working together in a big budget MCU film with this kind of, like, in this kind of world with Galactus right there, it was just all those ingredients to make me like, we were patient, and that paid off. It's not, like I said, it's not like an action scene that I'm gonna like praise for the rest of my life, but seeing it for the first time and seeing how it paid off, just, it made me happy. And that's exactly what I needed out of this movie. It is the best Phase 5 movie. I will say that much. It is the best Phase 5 movie. I did like it more than Thunderbolts. I liked it more than Superman. I liked it miles more than Jurassic World Rebirth. And then when it comes to every other MCU movie, I think I'd place this in the top 10. Top 10 MCU projects. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. I don't know where I would place it, but it's definitely in there. Yeah, great cast, great writing. But as much as I love this movie, and as much as I will rewatch this movie, there are some problems. One mainly being, this movie, it wasn't boring to me, but I can see it being boring to some others. So, you need to go in with the mindset, yeah, it's gonna be visually dazzling, yeah, it's gonna look interesting, yeah, there's gonna be some action in it, but first and foremost, it's a character-driven film. Again, it's not really why I went to see this movie. So if you're going into this movie with the mindset of you're going to get an adrenaline-filled MCU film, blockbuster, high-budget, testosterone, action scene every 15 minutes, you're not getting that. Honey, you ain't getting that. You're not getting it. And it's fine with me, but I can see why it would turn some other people off. Another positive that just popped in my mind, Michael Giacchino's incredible score for this movie. He absolutely knocks it out of the park as always. I think this is my favorite score of his yet, 100%. It's definitely better than the scores that he did for the Spider-Man films. I'm gonna give my ranking of the film. This is a 8 out of 10. 100% first and foremost, this is an 8 out of 10 movie. Great character, great writing, great visuals, great storytelling. Like I said, I have to give it credit for not doing MCU formula again. But there isn't enough action. It can be boring to some people, and not all of the comedy lands. And the runtime could have been stretched out a little bit to put some more action in there. Especially in the beginning. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen the beginning. It's a B movie for me. I liked it a lot more than the other MCU projects this year. It blows past Ironheart, like 100%. It's a little bit better than Thunderbolts for me for a couple of reasons, and then obviously it's better than Brave New World. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.